How about that Hell in a Cell?
Eh.
So, hey guys, we're here with our podcast for the week. Yeah, don't worry, we're not just going to be like, fuck WWE like everybody else.
Yeah, Hell in a Cell, though. Fuck WWE. But also, yes.
Yeah.
But fuck WWE.
As always, thanks for watching our podcast, Wrestling in Progress. We have no idea what we're doing, but we're going to talk about NXT and AEW.
You know what? I was actually fucking around with that name last time, and I'm glad that you kept it.
I like that name. Anyways, if you don't know what we do in this podcast, we review the Wednesday Night Wars between AEW and NXT.
And this is for October 9th, 2019.
Exactly. I thought this time we'll start with the numbers that came in for the week, which is AEW again beat one the ratings were with, I believe, 1 million. Well, I think it was 1.1.
I think it was about just shy of 1.1.
Yeah, 1.1 million people watching. Well, NXT had about 700,000.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So it looks like that's where it's going to plateau. I think that some people are predicting that AEW is going to go all the way down to 900,000, which is still amazing for nowadays.
I think it's probably going to peter out around 1 million right now. If it does go down, if not, I think it's going to stay at about this. Maybe it'll increase once it gains a little bit more traction. And NXT looks like it's picking up a bit of steam, so
exactly.
We might see a bit more SmackDown and Raw fans going over to NXT this time around. Maybe
especially since what happened on SmackDown and Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
So
we're not going to talk about that, but you should go look it up.
Yeah. But if you guys don't know what we do here, I in-depthly review NXT, and my co-host, Judge Lemon, the well-hung Judge Lemon, the well-hangman page Judge Lemon.
I will make you mad about AEW with my opinion.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and then we'll have some back and forth. It's not just a one-person monologue, but we always start with the show that appears first, the good old NXT. And NXT this week opens up with a recap of last week, the 3 title matches. All of them were retained. It was a nice video package. But then we go into our first match, the Cruiserweight title match between Lio Rush and Drew Gulak.
Yeah, this was sorry, don't mean to cut you off right off the fucking bat, but this match was holy fuck. Like, you know how they kind of buried Lio Rush into the ground in Raw, kind of like
it's just because it was because of all the backstage shit, eh?
Yeah, but then you realize that this motherfucker can actually wrestle.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Anyways. Yeah, you forget how flippy this guy is. The other thing I was going to add is that they renamed the Cruiserweight title. It's now the WWE NXT Cruiserweight, not the WWE Cruiserweight title. So now, the title has found a home on NXT.
Which is weird considering like the news that we have now. Yeah. Like afterwards, considering 205 Live might be revived.
It sounds like it might still be dead because in the draft, because we're going to be releasing this on a Tuesday, and we'll already have the results from Monday Night Raw, and 205 Live may not be a thing anymore because Drake weird. Maverick got drafted to Raw. Huh. Buddy was not a part of it. Akira Tozawa is no longer in 205 Live. He got drafted to Raw.
Is Buddy Murphy still on SmackDown?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think he went over to Raw. I'm not 100% sure. And I think they also took Drew Gulak.
Can Buddy Murphy just wrestle Roman Reigns for the rest of his life?
He had a match against Cedric, which was apparently really good.
Of course he did.
It was actually fantastic. We completely watched that. We totally didn't watch AEW a few minutes ago.
We're getting off track already.
But anyways, this match starts off as a fast-paced start because Lio Rush, he's a House of Fire. He hits a Spanish Fly right off the bat.
That fucked me.
And then a Saya moonsault right afterwards. But then soon after, Gulak takes control. He starts stretching him, grinds him down.
Also, nobody kicks out of the scoop slam. I thought you would enjoy that.
It's killing me right off the bat. And then Gulak starts just kicking him. Oh, there's this cool spot. So he's laying on the top rope. And then Drew Gulak does like a single leg drop kick. Just kicks him right up. And he just lands on the freaking security.
When he just kicks him right into the security guys, I was just losing my shit.
Yeah. Then we have a little bit of a commercial break. But Lio Rush fights back into it. But then he's just turned inside out. He just gets flattened with a clothesline. Then there's some good roll-ups here and there for near falls. Lio Rush is trying to get back into it.
It was surprisingly a lot of back and forth. I thought it was going to be Drew like kind of dominating him for majority of the match.
Well, we'll get to the finish here in just a few minutes, but I thought Drew was just going to win. Mm-hmm. So I'm really shocked with the ending. Spoilers. Then
you kind of already spoiled it.
But. Yeah. I mean, you guys probably should have watched it, right? It's going to be a Tuesday. Mm-hmm. But Leo Rush attempts a springboard stunner, gets countered into the Gulak, which then gets countered into a near fall because he rolls through. Then Gulak, after the near fall, Leo Rush goes back into his own version of the Gulak, but that gets countered into an Argentina neckbreaker for 2, which I thought was a cool spot. And then the match Leo Rush kind of takes control from there. He fights off Gulak, hits him with just a normal splash. Oh. Nigel McGuinness fucked up and said it was the frog splash, but it was not. Then he hits the springboard stunner into the final hour for 3, and that's the end of the match.
Well, wasn't it? Didn't he? I thought it was a frog splash, but anyways, he did the splash right into his move, the come up, and then transitioned right into the final hour.
Yeah, that was the come up is by the way, that stunner thing he does.
That triple set of moves was really beautiful. Amazingly.
Leo Rush wins.
Yeah.
So it's just shocking. Before we start give the ring, let's get into the aftermath of the match. So William Regal comes to awards the title because it's basically now a new title technically, because it's officially with NXT. So NXT General Manager William Regal comes to the ring, puts the belts around Leo, and then Gulak comes in. I'm like, he's gonna get his heat back. And Gulak grabs the belt, hands it to Leo as a sign of respect, and then leaves the ring, which I thought was kind of cool.
I thought it was good. I thought he was gonna start shit right away, but then he kind of subverted his whole character and just said nah, you earned this. You were the better man, and I thought that was kind of a good thing. Because honestly, my expectation was that he was just gonna fucking wallop him right away after.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that they didn't.
Yeah, it was kind of telling that since Gulak lost, that he got drafted.
Because he was the cruiserweight champion for some time, wasn't he?
No, he just beat Tony Nese recently.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was gonna have a longer reign, but he did not. But yeah, I gave this match 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was an amazing opener. Good technical, good high flying.
I thought it was good. I thought it had a lot of really solid high spots, but personally I thought it was just a little bit shorter than I would have liked. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, it was good for what it was, but I kind of wanted... it kind of left my mouth watering a bit more, so I kind of wanted a bit, so I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, a little harsh.
Not really harsh, it's more just hey, I like these guys, I want them to wrestle some more.
Yeah.
So I hope they do some more with them.
After the match, we get a backstage. I don't know if it's not really a promo. It's just showing that Kushida and Walter warming up for their match later tonight. That's the main event.
Yeah.
Then also they have there's a lot of promos in the show. I actually kind of liked it. I know promos can kind of disjoint the show, but I think it's a good way to put things forward without having 2-minute matches. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then afterwards they have a hype return promo for Balor, and then after that they promote Tegan Nox is coming back next week, which I'm excited for.
And the one thing I like, and I gotta say this about being a newer quote unquote wrestling fan, because I've been a fan for a couple years now. Obviously not the same as your fucking 24 years of being a wrestling fan, pretty much. But I don't know, 5 years. But the last 3 years of being more hardcore into wrestling. I do like the pacing of the matches into the promos, because it's not like it's fucking 5 minutes of matches and then 20 minutes of promos.
There is one thing I want to talk about that I'm not a big fan of WWE that I've noticed since AEW has started.
Yeah.
But I'll mention that at the end of the show. But
let's go right into the next one here.
Yeah, the next match is before I mention that, if you guys don't know, another cool thing about this podcast is you get 2 perspectives, because my co-host here, Judge Lemon, Hangman Page, or Hangman Cody, as I like to call
Hungman Cody.
Hungman Cody. He's a newer fan, so you get a newer fan perspective. That's why he does AEW, and I'm more of the bittered, hardened fan.
Old school, and I know you can't see me, but I'm doing that with quotations.
Yeah, so I've been more hardened. But anyways, into the next match, which will be Rhea Ripley versus Aaliyah with Vanessa Bourne. And this match is pretty much a squash. I have written some notes, which is basically just Rhea just outpowers her. Anything that Aaliyah does on offense, she no-sells Rhea. Then Rhea does this amazing swinging deadlift figure 4 for submission.
That holy shit! Watching that move, I was like, "Fuck, that looks fucking awesome." Although I do have to say this though, Aaliyah's screams, top tier screams.
Yeah, and then she gets a quick sub. It's a match lasts like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
you're gonna be surprised by this, but I actually gave it 2.5 stars out of 5. I thought it did exactly what it needed to do. It showed Rhea Ripley as this monster and actually like a viable threat, especially since she was the first UK women's champion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more or less the same on there. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I'm like just very. It was a squash match, and it wasn't like it was an amazingly performed squash match. It wasn't like it was 3 minutes of pure fucking like non-stop action, but it did what it was supposed to. It's building up Rhea Ripley. You said it was Rhea Ripley versus who?
Oh, we'll get into that.
Yeah,
but Rhea Ripley after the match calls out Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, I thought it was building up this, but Donovan pointed out that it was building up to something else, which I mean is just as good because it's better than what I had in mind. Because I didn't even really think about it until.
And then we get to one of my favorite parts of the night. Breezango do they have a new gimmick? Are they strippers now?
They're strippers. They're just straight up fucking male strippers.
Oh shit!
They might as well just call themselves Magic Mikes.
I mean, Tyler Breeze is hot as fuck. But yeah,
hopefully you listen to this podcast.
I liked how they came out to construction things. My favorite thing is the commentary. Is Beth Phoenix is so lewd talking about
Beth
how
Phoenix is just fucking like, oh, you can clean my pipes any day.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna bring up. I was just like, oh my god, I love it. And it's just like
they're getting raunchy on this show. They're like pushing the envelope.
I'm starting to really like the commentary team of Beth, Nigel, and Mauro. I think they're actually a really well-rounded team.
I love how
they're not as good as the AEW announced team, just because it's Ross, Tony.
I love how the one guy always, every time there's anything like slightly high spots, he always goes, "Mamma mia!"
But they were originally the Breezango are out, and they were originally supposed to be taking on Ever Rising, a new team that they have. But the Forgotten Sons take them out.
Forgotten Sons, the one guy just drags him on out there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Jackson Riker?
Yeah, and then you get the
For those who don't know, that's Gunner from TNA. Mm-hmm. And then we have an impromptu match between Breezango and the Forgotten Sons.
And I gotta say this before we skip past it, but holy shit, right off the bat, like the match starts off, but when the Forgotten Sons did that double backbreaker, that was fucking awesome.
Well, I was going to talk about the Sons take control. They take advantage from a distraction early on. Cutler hits a tiger backbreaker, then they hit a double backbreaker. Then Dango gets a hot tag. He's a house of fire. Hits his Falcon Arrow. But
nobody kicks out of the Falcon Arrow.
Especially everybody. And then after that, they attempt a double super kick. They get distracted. Riker takes out Breeze. The Suns hit their finish. This was like a reverse DDT and for a top rope stomp for 3. And I thought this was just a very decent tag.
Their finisher is called The Memory Remains.
Yeah.
That's also, I gotta say, really fucking cool name, but also a really cool move to see.
I think the move's pretty average. I actually don't really like it, to be honest, because I think the reverse DDT is a shitty move. And they just add a stomp to it, so I'm kind of indifferent.
I think it looks cool.
Yeah, but you also like Omega, so...
Yeah, but you won't like it.
Anyways, I gave this match 2.5 stars out of 5. I thought it was just a decent tag. Build up the Suns. I like both teams involved.
Honestly, it's like, while I give praise to like some of those moments, it's not much going on here that really caught me. It's just kind of... I feel like they're just kind of bringing back some people and giving a little bit of...
Well, for there's the story between the Suns and Breezango.
Yeah, it's just bringing some more attention to them. So yeah, just like 2 stars. It's got some good technical moments, but
next
not really much of a...
We get a hype package from Keith Lee for his match against Dominic. His 4th match against Dominic. They can fight as many times as they want. I don't care. That's going to be the main event next week, and I can't wait.
They can fight as many times as they want, and I'll never get fucking tired of it.
That might be my first 5-star. Maybe I have a 5-star match this week. We'll see. You're
not subtle about this shit at all sometimes.
Nope. So next we have Boa versus Cameron Grimes. The quickest squash ever. He just distracts him while Killian Dane's walking to the ring, hits his double stomp. 1, 2, 3.
You want to know what my fucking reaction to this was?
What?
What?
Yeah, I gave it a 0.5 star.
It
was a match.
It was 0 out of 5 stars. This was not a match.
Something happened.
the whole Killian Dane thing. He just came up and he fucked Boa. He just
he hit him with some Vader bombs.
Vader bomb.
You know, I'm okay with this because
he threw him not through, but into the announce table.
The thing really is like, are they gonna have Killian Dane versus Cameron Grimes? I would like that, but I think Cameron Grimes is technically a heel. I just don't see where Killian Dane will feud with next.
See, that's my
Johnny.
See, that's also my problem. Is like I didn't mind the beatdown, but I didn't really see where this was leading to. I don't know if he was gonna feud with Boa or fucking Cameron Grimes or like what the hell he was doing. So, but yeah, this honestly 0 out of 5 star just because I didn't really give a shit. Honestly, it didn't hype me up to anything, but.
I just like to see Damien.
I know. You just want to see Boa die.
I have nothing against Chinese people.
Sure.
And afterwards we get a promo from Damian Priest explaining why he attacked Dunn. And apparently he's a rich guy. Or he cares a lot about himself.
Sounds like every heel wrestler ever.
Yeah. And next we get to Roddy Strong versus Isaiah Swerve Scott.
Swerve.
Now, this is the first match I've seen of Swerve Scott. I know how amazing he was on the Indies. I never just got a chance to get around to watching him. But yeah, I was really impressed. Like, the match starts out with some good mat work wrestling. Scott takes control early with that nice jumping sidekick.
Those reversals they had were fucking smooth. Those were fucking smooth.
We get good strike exchange, and then Strong takes control with a backbreaker. He then hits him with another backbreaker. Well, he has him aside of the backbreaker. I love Roderick Strong's backbreakers because he has different transitions. Like the first one, he just hits a standard pendulum, and then he hits a side one.
Before he was doing the backbreaker, that second chop of his, his first one sounded like it hit, but holy shit, that second one sounded like he just took the meat right off of fucking Swerve. Yeah, like that I felt that.
After he breaks his back, Scott decides to get back into his match, get some separation, makes a comeback. Big DDT out of the corner, 4-2. Rest of the air comes out at this point. They're cheering on Roddy from the sidelines. Then we get from Swerve Scott. He hits a release German into a rolling flatliner, which I thought was cool, into a back kick for 2.
That back kick is so good. That's so good to like just as a simple kick. Yeah. Because you always see the roundhouse. You see super kicks all the time. You sometimes see a lot of gut kicks. Yeah. But like that side kind of like back kick, really fucking cool to look at. Just as a cool kind of mix up.
My favorite spot of this entire match is he has Roddy in the ropes, gives him a super kick. He has his feet curved caught onto the bottom rope, so he's hanging there. And then he does a slingshot double stomp to the outside. I love that spot.
Cool. Also, one of my highlights for this match was I can't remember exactly what it was, but I have Swerve gave I think he gave a giant like fucking swing at Roderick, and Roderick just had spaghetti legs for a good solid second.
Yeah, there's some good right hands from Scott in this match.
I liked his kind of like because a lot of people don't focus on strikes at all, and I like to see a lot of more strikers in here. That's why I think that's really why I like people like Aleister Black. But I want more strikers. That's all I want. I just want people that smack the shit out of people.
After that amazing double stomp, we get the ending of the match where the error does a slight distraction to Scott. Strong hits his sick kick into the end of Heartache, into the stronghold for the submission. And what a great match. For me, this match really showed me that Scott is a star, and that Scott, I will say, is in the conversation for me for MVP of the week. I'm not too sure. We'll find out at the end of the video. But I give this match 3 3/4 stars out of 5.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure his move. I thought it was called the Psycho Knee. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, again another.
Oh no, it's called the Sick Kick.
Is it? Okay.
It's like he was like the Claymore before the Claymore was the thing.
So yeah, his triples from the Sick Kick into the end of Heartache into end of Heartache into English? The Stronghold. Yes, English is my first language, people.
Mine's sarcasm.
Yeah, sure. But again, it was another like triple set of moves that was performed so flawlessly, and I loved it. It was like the perfect end. I don't know why I'm a sucker for moves like that where they do. Well, not. I guess you could say it's John Cena's 5 moves of doom, but just 3 moves of doom.
No, it's a better. I like these sequence endings. After the match, the Era does a quick promo.
Hey, my star rating, boy. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. It's really fucking good. Really good. Like like a great display of athleticism, but also like just really hard impacting like hits and attacks. It's just great.
Now we get into the Era's promo after the thing. I don't know what you're saying. There was one part that sucked and one part that was good. Let me get into that. So the Era just does their promo talking about how great they are. They get interrupted by my boy, the Velveteen Dream.
Looking sexy and this is as fuck.
This is one of the times I didn't really care for Velveteen Dream's promo. I thought it was good until he did So anyways, he talks about Roddy, how he wants to face him in 2 weeks for the North American title. Awesome, I'm cool about that. Shows a hilarious picture Roddy Strong had on Instagram, pulling a Shawn Michaels. The part I don't like is when he took it off and you saw his tiny willy. I thought that was, for me, it kind of was like it is something Dream would do, but it took away, for me at least.
Honestly, it didn't take anything away from me. I thought it was fucking great. I was losing it.
I was like, eh. If someone did that to me and I was Roddy, I'd just be like, okay. Cool.
But you have to remember, you're not like Roderick. You're not an
I'm not 5'8".
You're not an egomaniac. You're not all about yourself.
Exactly. But the best part of this was when Ciampa comes out to the stage.
Goldie.
Oh,
Dad.
No, don't ruin that yet. Don't ruin that.
On.
Don't ruin my line.
You ruined me.
So he comes to the ring with his amazing. Why does he still have a crutch?
Why not?
And then he says
he's got a camouflage now.
He gets in the ring. I find it funny that one guy with a crutch, 4 guys statter. He sits in the ring and he says,
"Goldie, Daddy's home."
And then all we hear is chants of "Daddy's home, Daddy's home." And I'm just like, that's great.
That was a great double interruption. I thought that was fucking awesome.
That part was awesome. Dream, you could do better.
You know what? You're pretty.
This comes from the guy who doesn't like Leo Rush versus Drew Gulak. But anyways, we get to the back during the commercial breaks. We had Ciampa get interrupted by Angel Gaza, and Gaza is yelling at something in Spanish. Ciampa hits him. Kathy Kelly's just like, "Why'd you hit him?" He's like, "I don't know."
Get out of here with your taco nonsense.
So we just racist now. I hate Chinese, you hate Mexicans. I get it now. Anyways, to the ring. Dakota Kai versus Bianca Belair. The match starts out as they're just sizing out each other. Kai takes the early control with her kicks, because that's the only offense she has, apparently. Bianca takes control afterwards, dropping Kai out of the corner.
What the fuck was the announcers when Bianca had Dakota up on her shoulders in the fireman's carry? She was like doing those like up and downs, and they're like, "Look at those squats." And I'm like, those ain't squats.
Yeah, though. She didn't do like a full squat.
It was like not even a partial squat. It was like a quarter squat.
It was a third squat.
Anyways,
Kai gets back into the match with some very innovative kicks. I like the one where she does I don't know how to explain it. She goes to a cartwheel, but then she spins her leg up, hits them. Then they do some good looking back and forth. Kai's doing the strikes. Bianca's showing her strength and her speed, hitting a beautiful standing shooting star press. And then, we get the win with Bianca Belair hits the reverse Samoan driver. I thought this was a pretty decent match. I felt it dragged at some point, so I only gave it 2 3/4 stars out of 5.
Honestly, it just felt like it was... It felt like it was a match that was longer than it needed to be.
Yeah, I agree.
It kind of just... I don't know. It didn't really hold my attention.
I also wasn't a big fan of Kai losing. I don't want to get... I know I'm not a booker.
I know they're building up towards a bigger match against getting a champion for Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, challenger, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. But honestly, I thought Dakota Kai would have been better.
Yeah, me too.
But
nice.
That's me.
Instead of 2 powerhouses, because afterwards Bianca calls out Ripley and looks like we're going to get a match between those two in the future.
Yeah, and then whoever wins that gets to challenge Baszler.
I think it's going to be Ripley.
Probably. That's it. Honestly, in this match, it did not feel like Bianca was a viable threat for Rhea at all. Like, not at all.
Well, especially since she's already lost to Shayna twice.
Yeah.
I thought she did a good job in those matches, but...
Yeah. Anyways, it was a 2 out of 5 for me.
And then we get Dominik Dijakovic promo on Lee for next week. Please fight forever, those two. Then we get another promo talking about Finn Balor because apparently he's too good to talk on NXT. And then we get another promo from Dunn talking about his match next week with Damian Priest, which is actually a match I'm looking forward to.
That looks like an interesting match.
And then we get to the main event. The Yeti taking on the fake Undertaker. No, it's Kushida versus Walter.
It's not funny and it's never.
It's a pretty mad match. I gave it 0 stars. Now let's get into it. An amazing feeling out process. Walter uses strength, but Kushida's...
They also use the power of head pats on each other.
Hey, let me get to that.
Hey, you got to interrupt me first. I got to.
Fine, you tell the match then. If you don't want me to talk about it.
I just wanted to talk about head pats. It's just head pats and head parts part 2.
Where was I? Oh yeah, he taunts him. He gets chopped by Walter.
Chopped.
Kushida gets back in control. He slips off the top rope, and then he just gets a big kick from Walter.
That holy shit! Like
that makes me think it was planned the way it looked.
I don't know because it was like it didn't look because I rewatched it a couple times to see it, and at first I thought it was kind of like a plan because I thought like he's hurt or something, but I'm like, but I don't remember anything about him ever being hurt. Yeah. So I'm thinking he might have.
Well, apparently he's an injured wrist after this match.
Oh, I don't doubt it, but yeah, it's just seeing him slip was just like what the fuck, and then after that, Walter he just completely saved it with that fucking kick right to the fucking face. Holy shit!
But Kushida gets back into the match. It's another big DDT. Then Kushida takes control with a bunch of his little flurries, bunch of kicks, and then Kushida tries to do the sun flip powerbomb, which I thought was dumb, and then Walter just steps on him. I thought that was just great. Then Walter chops Kushida.
He chopped his fucking face off.
And then he dodges a big charge from Walter into the corner post, and then we get a beautiful flip DDT to the floor, which I thought was
the
good
apron
spot.
DDT was great. That was fucking awesome.
Then Kushida, he gets the hoverboard lock onto Walter, but Walter just powers out into the big sleeper
right away.
Then Kushida rolls through, but Walter rolls him back into the sleeper. And then we get another roll through into this armbar, but freaking Walter just puts his weight on him. And then Walter just hits a couple of suplexes. What I really liked is he did it was a half Nelson, but it was also a pump handle bridging suplex, which I'd never seen before, which I thought was cool. Mm-hmm. Then Walter goes to the top for whatever reason. Gets cut off, and then Kushida hits his big top rope hoverboard lock.
Honestly, when I saw Walter going to the top, I'm like, why are you going to the top? This isn't going to work out for you.
I mean, he did beat Pete Dunne with a frog splash, so...
Of course he did.
Yeah. But I love that when Kushida took him over with the hoverboard lock. I thought that was a good near fall spot, because Walter gets to the ropes. Walter then hits a shotgun dropkick into a powerbomb. I'm like, oh, it's over. And then he kicked out. I was like, okay. They hits him just with the wimpiest looking clothesline for the 3. Even though it was a wimpy clothesline, I still give this match 4.5 stars.
Like his lariat?
I thought it was meh. I thought the powerbomb would have been better.
Yeah. I thought the shotgun dropkick just killed Kushida.
Yeah, I gave this match 4.5 stars out of 5. I like my note here. More, please.
Yeah, honestly, I feel kind of the same. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars, and honestly, I just wanted them to keep on going for a bit longer. Like, I felt like they could have had another 5 minutes, and it would have been even better.
Now, here, let's talk about the problem I have with NXT in comparison to AEW. So we get Imperium staying on the top. Cool, whatever. When you compare it to AEW and this last week and what we'll get to, is NXT ends their shows, it's just like, oh, cool, it's over. It's not like, oh, I can't wait for next week. It's, Where AEW is like, oh my god, I can't wait. I'm so excited. Where NXT is like, oh, that was a cool show.
It's like, oh, here's the match and it's done, and then they don't build. Here's the thing.
Well, they do like a bunch of pros like, don't wait for next week for this match. It's like, why don't you just do like a run in or something?
Yeah, they don't. It's like they don't continue on with like the last little bit of the story, and I felt like they could have like. Had something to do with it to build up to another Walter versus someone else match.
Yeah. Like have Johnny Gargano come out and be like, Walter, you're fat, fight me. Like anything.
Yeah, and it feels like it's an abrupt ending, and I feel like they cut off the last little bit almost, even though I know they didn't.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest problem is that I don't feel like as much as AEW that I want to like, holy shit, what's going to happen next week?
Like, I want to see Lee versus Dijakovic, but
like everything else is like, okay.
Yeah.
See, and this is my problem. I know you disagree with me, but personally, I think this week is a little bit weaker than last week's.
I honestly thought it was better, just because it wasn't like blow off, blow off, blow off, blow off, blow off. Although we got some good story progression in some of the feuds.
See, this is my first ever 0 out of 5 match for me, and every other match besides. Of course,
to be fair, it wasn't like it was a bad match. It was just a squash.
No, it was just it was an uneventful kind of boring squash, and there was even in there like with it there was no high spots for me that I really stood out to me. That's the thing.
You don't have to have high spots to have a good match.
No, you don't. But you also have to have something. That
he jumps pretty high. That's a high spot. No, but I see what you mean. Like, I can see how it's an eventful one, but I thoroughly enjoyed the show.
The 3 matches that were like high spots for me, the fucking Leo Rush versus Drew Gulak, and then the Roderick Strong versus Swerve, and then Walter versus Kushida. Yeah. Those were all really strong matches that I enjoyed, but everything else was just kind of like.
What about the Rhea Ripley thing? That was good. I thought it was a good week of NXT. Anyways, on to AEW.
Are we gonna give overall score for the thing, or are we just dropping that?
Oh, we can give overall score.
I didn't even think about overall score, to be honest. But
let's rank it out of 10 though, because we can't really give stars to an event. You know what I mean?
I mean,
that just seems. Oh, I guess you do it for hotels, eh?
Yeah. It just convert. It's the same idea as like the star matches. If you were to convert it,
I'd probably give NXT this week a 3.5 stars out of 5. I thought it was like last week. I probably would have gave it about the same. But the only thing different this week is that it wasn't like, oh, let's have these long, amazing matches.
Yeah.
This one I felt was pretty story driven for some of them, and I was just happy to see some teams that I've wanted to see.
Compared to last week, which was I'd say 3.5 out of 5 for me, so like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
This is probably a 3 out of 5. It's just it. I don't know. Last week just got me going, and I just kind of felt like
the one thing I thought was weird though. Sorry to interrupt. Is where was Matt Riddle?
Yeah, he's just kind of gone, just dead.
Like I thought he should have had at least a promo. Like you should have Riddle into another feud.
Just add him into like the fucking.
I'm happy Johnny wasn't on there. No offense to Johnny, it's just he's kind of.
He hates Johnny. Johnny Gargano's the worst.
No, I like Johnny Gargano. It's just I still don't understand why Ciampa's back and Gargano hasn't done anything to him. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure they dropped that feud, but all right. Isn't he in a tag match with him?
Yeah, no. Sorry, Vince ruined that. But AEW, they still had their feud going until Ciampa got hurt.
Oh. I was pretty sure he was in a 4-on-4 match. Like it was Ciampa and Gargano with 2 other people.
Yeah, no, that was on Raw and SmackDown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when Vince tried to ruin 3 years of storytelling.
Of course he did.
But anyways, let's not get mad about Raw and SmackDown. Let's talk about a good show, AEW.
Okay. Whew. Good. First off, quick little production things. I didn't really mention this with NXT because they've never really had any production issues. They've always been pretty solid overall. Like they, of course, they have blunders here and there, like everybody does. I think there was one blunder where the announcers were talking during one of the breaks in between, and it was like, "What the fuck? Shut up! You're not supposed to talk." Anyways, it was nothing really noteworthy. But one thing I thought was really good from this week from last week to this week with AEW is that the production felt a little bit stronger overall. I felt like they pumped up the music a bit for each of the wrestlers, so it felt like a lot more like actually vibrant and like energetic.
Yeah.
And then the shots definitely a lot better this week. Like a lot of
yeah, because the one thing I will say about AEW that I always notice is when like they do like the camera turn into one of the aisles.
Yeah.
Or one of the, I guess, because they have like two different
the entrance
walkways
sides.
You can walk out of.
Yeah.
They usually turn into the wrong one.
Yeah. When they were doing that, when we saw that at some of the live.
The only issue I will say about the production of AEW is I don't like their commercial breaks.
No, their commercial breaks are kind of fucking annoying, and we'll get to that. When
yeah, they need to work on that because like a lot of like the big stuff happens during the commercial break.
As much as I hate them, as much as I hate the ads in the middle of the matches.
Yeah.
I'd rather those and be able to see the match than just cutting away.
Well, this is what NXT gets right, is that during the ad breaks, they don't do anything too noteworthy.
No, they don't do anything huge.
When we get to one of the matches, we'll talk about the noteworthy stuff they did that we missed.
Okay, yeah. So, anyways, we start off right off the bat with a tag team match, and this is for the tournament going up in the ranks. Holy shit, I'm fucking having a stroke, people.
Yep.
And we had Private Party versus the Young Bucks.
Yeah, the Young Bucks were the seed number 1. Private Party was seed number 7, 8. I think they said 8, which doesn't make any sense because there's only 7 people in.
It really doesn't matter overall.
But anyways, Private Party is considered the least likely team to win.
Holy shit, yeah, no, but after this, I was rooting for Private Party overall, and I think everybody thought that the Young Bucks were going to win. Spoiler alert, if you don't know. Private Party beat the Young Bucks in this, which was a huge shocker for me. I was like, holy shit, they actually fucking won.
Yeah.
But right off the bat, you have fucking... you got them going at it. You got them doing all the reversal stuff. Pretty standard Buck stuff. Pretty standard Private Party for what we've seen of them stuff.
Yeah.
But right off the bat, when fucking Matt's weird ass fucking push just threw me off so much. I don't know why.
Or when he pushes what's his name? Quinn?
Yeah, when he pushed it, was it Quinn or was it...
it was Mark Quinn, who was on the outside.
Yeah, when he pushes Quinn off there, I was like, Matt, what the fuck's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? No, are you sure it was Quinn? Because I thought
it was Quinn because Isaiah was in the ring. Because what the Young Bucks did is they cut off the ring for most of the match. So to begin with, Isaiah could not get a tag to save his life. Then Mark couldn't get a tag to save his life.
Mark?
Yeah, his name's Mark Quinn.
Oh, it's Mark Quinn. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm fucked up with these names right now. Anyways, you just had a lot of Matt and Nick just going back and forth on fucking what's his name? Who's the other guy? Isaiah. Okay. I was like thinking I want to say Swerve, but I'm like, wait.
Oh shit! That's the same name as Isaiah Swerve.
Anyway, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, you had Isaiah kind of getting the shit kicked out of him by the Bucks, which I mean, it's almost kind of like they're building up the Bucks to be heels at this point, but not fully committing.
But they're still kind of baby.
I mean, obviously in this match, Private Party were the faces for this.
Because of their underdogs.
Faces. I'm saying that like loosely, not like with an absolute. But yeah, you had a lot of back and forth for a bit until Isaiah got that hot tag.
You mean Mark got the hot tag? Yeah, because Mark was the one who does the cool flips.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Before we get to that, the fucking flips of this motherfucker.
Of Mark, yeah.
Oh, fuck. Holy shit. Quinn knows how to flip. He is essentially a spaceman that got stuck with
the crowd really got on their feet for that, which was awesome.
It was like some fucking flips, alright. Like he didn't even need to use the top rope to get over that at all, and that's what's great. It's like it felt so effortless to him. Anyways, you got his spaceman tag, as you like to call it.
Yep.
So you got him fighting around with Nick at that point.
Yep.
You got his classic scream.
Oh yeah, course. Isaiah. Well, but before that, there's one spot you forgot that I have to love that I have to mention. When Mark is getting beaten down, I think it's Nick Jackson does a springboard flip overwards, gets Isaiah in the powerbomb position, powerbombs him on the ramp, and he's just dead for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, he just took Isaiah out of this fucking world.
Until he gets back in and screams.
And then you had fucking, I think it was Nick had Quinn in the Scorpion Death Driver.
Yeah.
Or sorry,
No, it was Isaiah at this point.
Or was it? Yeah, it would have been him, and he had that. But then you just had fucking. It was probably.
It was Matt Jackson who does the X Factor.
Yeah, just comes in and just smashes his goddamn face into the ground.
Yeah.
That was. I don't know why, but that move is always looks so good, especially with them.
Yeah.
What? Matt's face got fucked up. What the fuck? What was that? Matt got his face all fucked up.
Oh, so I think that's when we get into like the finish, because he pulls him off the apron.
Oh yeah, okay, so that's when we had God, I can't remember the spots because it's so much more difficult with more people.
There's so many spots in this match. It's a spotty match.
Matt got his feet pulled out from under him, and it looked like he fucking smashed his face on the apron.
And then
what?
Then Quinn got the roll up because they're going for the Meltzer driver, eh?
Oh yeah, they were going up for the Meltzer driver, and Matt got fucking smashed, and got the roll up, the 1, 2, 3s.
Yeah, we can't do justice to how good this match is. Please go and seek it out.
Watch both. Watch both of these, because all of these are so much better than we could ever describe. Oh, better than I could ever describe them.
Yeah.
Donovan goes in detail. I just go in like a lot of the spots that I enjoyed in this.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a fucking pretty solid match overall, and I know, spoiler alert from earlier, because Donovan doesn't know fucking subtlety.
No, you can tell your rating first. I'll tell mine.
Alright, this was a 4 out of 5 star match for me. This was so good. Like, overall, nothing really I could pick apart too much. I just wish it was a little bit longer, but honestly, it was good. Really good.
I thought it was a perfect length. As I mentioned last week, I'm going to eat my words, because last week I'm like, I don't give out 5-star ratings that often. But this is the second match this year that I'm going to give it 5 stars to. I thought this match was amazing. It's one of those matches where you can feel it. I felt it. I felt the crowd. I never thought I'd give a Young Buck match 5 stars. But they made me believers this week. I am a big fan of Private Party. I can't wait to see what they do in the tournament.
And also,
I really want to see them take on Lucha Bros.
By the way, guys, this is now meaning that the Young Bucks is out of this tournament.
Yeah,
completely. They are done.
Oh, their faces afterwards were
so defeated. Like, just completely crushed.
Well, if you think about it, they're the ones who are like, oh, we're going to bring tag team wrestling, and then they lose, claiming they're the best tag team, and they lose to the bottom seed.
They think, like, everybody thought, including the audience, was this, like, yeah, there's no way that the Young Bucks are going to lose. Maybe the Lucha Bros would be the other ones.
Yeah.
But no, like, they're out in the first fucking round.
Yeah, and like, this makes Private Party look like stars.
This is, like, them putting over Private Party was probably the best thing that they could do.
Yeah.
Because it makes them look up there. Like they're fucking main event players, which they are. They definitely have the potential to be.
Yeah. So yeah, I give this match 5 stars. You won't hear that. Hopefully not. Actually, I hope I hear it more.
I hope we hear it more often, because if every fucking match was 5 stars, it'd be the best fucking shows ever.
Yeah, but yeah, this is going in my 5. Dave Meltzer his heart out. This is a 5-star match.
This is well, I'm trying to think, because that's your second 5-star. I know we both gave a 5-star for Cody versus Dustin.
Yeah.
Did I give another one?
Oh no, sorry. There's 3 matches I have this year that are 5 stars. Other is Evil versus Sonata at the G1.
Moxley versus Ishii. That's the other one for me.
Ooh, maybe.
Oh.
We still have to watch all the G1, but anyways, we're getting off track.
We're getting off track. All right, and then the next up, we had the Chris Jericho stable promo. I'm not going to say this because we'll save that for the end.
But before you get into this, I have to say this. Like, this is going to sound really bad after I give the 5-star match. Honestly, this might be promo of the year.
This is so good.
This is one of the most enjoyable promos I've had of the year.
This honestly proves that Chris Jericho.
The only other one that comes close is the Roman Reigns when he returned from leukemia.
Mm-hmm.
as in greatest promos of the year, but yeah, I'll let you take it away.
Or I would argue even like a lot of Bray Wyatt's promos, like because
Firefly Funhouse.
Because he's just a genius with that, because he just knows how to act. Anyways, off track. This promo absolutely 100% proves that Chris Jericho still has it.
Yeah.
And on it's. But yeah, this is like just solidifies him as a massive heel, but also like the biggest name in the company.
Right? I just have to say my favorite line. Look at Sammy Guevara, Spanish God. He's so hot.
that fucking. I was just starting it off hot and hard there.
And
Jericho.
Ortiz just with his tongue wagging the whole promo.
Just the fucking mad dog. It just keeps cutting over to him every now and then just to make sure he still has his tongue out.
Yeah.
But then Chris Jericho's basically just cycling through everybody with Ortiz, Santana, Sammy, and Hagar. I keep calling him Hagar.
Even though it's Hagar, he calls him Hagar.
Hagar. He just keeps cycling through it, and how they're all basically on his list.
Yeah.
And if for wrestling fans who knew that, reference to WWE and the list of Jericho. But
speaking of references to WWE, we the people.
Chris Jericho shut that shit down so fucking quickly.
Please, if you're watching that promo, pause on Jack Swagger's face when they do a close up. He has just psycho eyes.
Fucking Jake Hager.
Sorry, Jake Hager, not Jack Swagger.
Jack Swagger.
That's because Jack Swagger is one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE.
Hager in this was God damn it. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Holy shit, he is one of the most intimidating looking psychopaths ever.
Yeah.
And actually, now that I'm thinking about it ahead of time, you know who I want to see? Fucking Jake Hagar versus Moxley now.
Oh.
That'd be the shit. What the fuck? Oh, it was the wrong thing. Anyways, by the end of it, just like fucking Jericho, I'm just like, wow, you, Jericho, are king of the dicks.
Yeah, the only thing I wrote for this is fantastic. This promo I loved every second of it.
And then, what did he say at the, so we'll get to the end when they named their stable, but what did he say? What did he swear? I'm trying to remember. He said something.
Oh, I'm gonna beat the shit out of He hit that high-pitched shit.
He just fucking, like, screamed that at the top of his lungs. But anyways, he's just like, he finally names his stable, and he's like, this is my inner circle.
And when I first heard
inner circle.
When I first heard that, I'm like, this is so dumb, but I love the name.
The stupidest fucking name they could have come up with, yet it somehow Jericho gets it over.
Then again, we also have a podcast called Wrestling in Progress, so...
But yeah, I'm going to agree with you. Probably one of the best promos of this year. Easily a perfect promo for me. Like, if I had to give it a star rating, it'd be a 5.5.
5 stars?
Yeah, 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, me too. For promo work, yeah.
Honestly, like, the rest of them didn't even have to say anything because Jericho knew how to carry himself.
Jericho made us care about all those 4 new characters that they showed.
Basically, I think Jericho did more for all 4 of those guys and himself.
Yeah.
And AEW, for that fact, than anybody else has done for them in forever. Like, for what WWE did for fucking Swagger, for what I can't remember what you said.
LAX used to be Santana Ortiz used to be known as LAX in TNA.
Yeah, for what TNA
Impact
did for them.
And Impact did make him big, but I think they made themselves big there.
Yeah, I think it's up to a wrestler, and then I don't think did Sammy Guevara even wrestle before AEW?
Yeah, no, he was big in PWG and Mexico. He was the cruiserweight champion there for a while.
Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that basically...
But nobody knew nobody...
Yeah, nobody knew...
Like, for reference, my dad is a big wrestling fan as well. And he only knows who Jack Swagger and Chris Jericho is from WWE. And now he's introduced to these new stars. And he's like, oh, this is what they're about.
Yeah, essentially, I'm just trying to say is that Chris Jericho got all these guys over in this. Like, exactly. He basically said, these guys are my guys.
And don't forget, he referenced a little bit of the bubbly.
The ending, a little bit of the bubbly.
Hey.
That was a fucking great promo. That's so good. I can't give it enough fucking praise.
Yeah.
Anyways, then we had next probably one of my favorites, like personal guilty pleasure favorites, just because I got a hard on for you know who. But we had Darby Allin, my boy, versus Jimmy Havoc.
Your other boy.
My other boy.
Before you get into the match, I just want to talk about Jimmy Havoc's promo. I really enjoyed this little promo that they did while he was walking to the ring. I thought it was a good way to establish his character to the audience. When he started punching himself, I'm like, whoa, Havoc, calm down there, boy.
Jimmy Havoc's just like a fucking nutcase.
But anyways, let's get into the match.
Oh, God. This is painful to watch at times. I know a lot of it's like just fake and stuff, but they sell it so
Ooh, so we're using the F word now.
Fame? I couldn't think of another word there.
You really dropped the ball with that one. That's our award-winning chemistry right there.
What? Chemistry?
Yeah, you have chemistry with somebody?
Well, I'm dropping the ball with English as well.
I'm sorry that my co-host is dumb. Anyways.
Dumb.
Hangman Page, go.
Basically, you just had a lot of back and forth between it. They get right into the match right off the start. A lot of it is just fucking Havoc beating the shit out of Allen, just kind of wrenching on some different stuff, biting him. But then you got these moments where Darby kind of like kicks back around and hits his I don't even know what to call it. It's like his flipping stunner.
Oh yeah.
He
actually has a name for it. I just don't remember it.
I can't remember it, but I feel like I should. At one point, actually, Jimmy Havoc hits a Tiger Driver 97 on it. Oh, he does that so well. Mm-hmm. And Allen just takes it like a champ. Just doesn't give a shit. But you had a lot of like not what I would call like big spots on it, because really to me and actually this is the perfect time before I forget, is this is the part that annoyed both of us the most about it.
Commercial breaks.
The commercial break in this cut out about half of the high spots, and we get to see them in the replay at the end.
Yeah, we missed like a reverse. What is it? Arm head suplex. Mm-hmm. And we also missed a Death Valley driver into the corner. And then we missed Darby. Oh, no, sorry. Not Darby. Jimmy Havoc bites Darby's fingers on the outside. We also missed Darby breaking out of a sleeper from Havoc by jumping backwards. And it's like, that would have been nice to watch.
Honestly, yeah. That was one of the things that kind of annoyed me about it. During the match, it was like, when it kind of cuts away at that, like you didn't feel like you missed a whole lot, but you really did, and they must have packed a lot of into a short 2-minute commercial break.
Yeah,
which kind of annoyed me, but I mean, hey, it is
what
it is.
Still good.
I hope they fix it in the future, but I don't know. Anyways, it eventually ends with Darby Allin getting to the top, coffin drop for the 1-2-3, one of the greatest finishers ever. So simple. Just fucking flop onto someone. Just kill them. But yeah.
But if this was like a real sport, that finish would make no sense.
No,
but I love it anyways.
Yeah, I mean, considering this is in continuity, it's his first time hitting it. In if you're talking about
on TV.
On TV. But if you've seen AEW Dark, which is on Tuesdays now. It's the second time he's hit it, because he hit it up against SEMA on that in that match, which that was. Go watch AEW Dark as well, because they put on some pretty good matches along with a lot of the lesser known people. Mm-hmm. Just trying to get some like bigger people. You won't see I don't think you'll see any of the big names like Moxley or like Omega, but maybe they will this week. So. You never know. Anyways, overall, this was a pretty good match. I think it's definitely getting Darby over as like a big contender.
Oh, we forgot to mention what this match was about.
Oh, this was for the chance to challenge Chris Jericho this upcoming Wednesday.
Yeah.
So Wednesday
for the AEW Championship, which we just found out is now a Philadelphia street fight.
Mm-hmm. Which is it's gonna be
especially
spicy.
since Darby Allin's in it.
Yeah. It's going to be fucking nasty. I mean, especially with something at the end of the show. We'll get to that, but...
Foreshadowing.
Personally, for me, this was 3 out of 5 stars for me. It was a pretty solid match overall. But again, same problem with a lot of these is I just wanted more.
Yeah.
But,
no, I agree with everything you said there. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars as well. I wish the match was a little longer. Wanted to see more of Jimmy Havoc. And hopefully Jimmy Havoc gets a win soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Anyways, next up, we had a women's tag team match. We had Rio and Britt Baker.
My girl Rio!
Versus Emi Sakura and B. Presley.
B. Priestley.
B. Presley.
Jim Ross messed up his name and called Bia. It's actually
Bia.
B. Priestley.
Bia Presley. Honestly, I didn't have a whole lot to say about this match. It was pretty good overall, just a lot of back and forth.
There were some sloppy moments.
There was some sloppy moments overall. It was just, I think it's just a lot of the women trying to find their footing in this, and I think a lot of the men just...
Here's one thing I want to bring up with you. Sorry to cut you off. Is AEW is presenting Britt Baker as like their big women's star next to like Rio, obviously. Are you buying it at this point, or do you feel like they're pushing her a little too hard?
I feel like they're doing what they did with Roman Reigns.
Ooh, you're going that harsh?
But wait, before you fuck down my throat.
I have to be a wrestling fan, so you think she's shit then?
I feel like they're giving her a very strong push. Not making her win everything, obviously, like Roman.
Yeah.
But definitely pushing her more than a lot of the other women.
Yeah, I can see why they're doing it. It's just
I feel like she has potential. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
She has potential, but she's, for me, just too basic.
Yeah, the problem for her, I find, sorry to cut you off again, is I find that she's a lot like Hangman Page right now, where they can't...
Oh, fuck you.
No, like, I'm being serious. Like, I'm not trying... I do enjoy Hangman Page. I think he has an amazing finisher, amazing look. And I honestly hope him and Dustin become a tag team. We'll talk about that later on, because I really like them as a tag team. But I just... At this point, I see them becoming main event players. It's just, at this moment, I can't see that. They have to find that little bit more for me.
See, no, personally, like, I feel like Hangman already has that. Like, he's already built his persona up as kind of like this cowboy, this lone cowboy type character, and I'm totally into it. But with Britt Baker, I just, the whole dentist thing, I kind of could get behind, but they just have to not,
especially her new finish.
They have to not pull a whole Dr. Isaac Yankum bullshit again.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
I know they're not doing that, but like I just feel like she doesn't like I can pretty much count most of her moves on one hand. Ooh. That's my problem. And it's not like it's a Stone Cold where he can get over anything.
Yeah.
But this is like, she's got like a swinging neck breaker. She's got her like trap arm crossface into a mandible claw.
Yeah.
Or no, not crossface. Arm trap into a.
It's
mandible
basically
claw.
a Ring of Saturn's, both a mandible claw.
Yeah. Which is her finisher. She's got just simple running.
She has a V-triggered like move.
Yeah.
She's got a suplex.
She's got a simple suplex and just strikes. Like, there's nothing that we haven't seen from other people, and it's
the other thing that doesn't help is last week her commentary was
so dry.
Yeah.
Just not even.
I just don't have anything to connect with her right now. But anyways, off this tangent.
Yeah, off this tangent. Honestly, it was a 2.5 stars for me. It was okay. It had some decent wrestling, but it had a lot of.
This was my first introduction to B. Priestley, and I hope to see her in singles action against Britt Baker.
Yeah,
see how that works out.
That's what I wanted to see. I just want to see B. Priestley doing some more singles.
But it's always good to see my girl Rio.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this match despite all the sloppiness. I gave it 3 stars out of 5. And yeah, we'll find out later tonight. We'll just throw this in here now because it's just a small thing. Britt Baker will be challenging Rio for the Women's Championship next week.
Which, I mean, depending on how they go with her, could be good, could not be good. We don't know.
I mean, Rio's got to carry her to a 5-star match.
All right.
I hope.
I'll let you have your dreams. Next up, we had a Best Friends.
Oh, that hug, I cried.
And then we also have a new person with the Best Friends. Donovan didn't believe me when I said it. But
you just like to throw your shade at me on the pod.
Hey, I gotta flex some knowledge on you. But now we got a new person to add to the best friends. Orange Cassidy.
I just hope you just yell, the Yeti!
The Yeti. Yes, just the fucking Yeti again. So it seems like they're pushing best friends to be a stable now of 3 people.
Well, this is good because they're going up against SCU in the first round.
Yeah, which will be great because honestly, I think having like Chuck and Trent up in there, and then just having Orange Cassidy in the back all the time, it's one of those things that you think shouldn't work because they don't have chemistry, but it just fits so fucking well.
Yeah, here's what I'm just going to throw out. Since the Young Bucks are knocked out, Best Friends are my pick to win the tag team tournament.
And honestly, that would be the same for me. I'm hoping that he wins. Anyways, just a short little kind of like quick teaser for them in the tag champions. But then, cuts to black. It is the chairman.
Vince McMahon.
No, it was the Yeti. No, it's Sean Spears.
So it's so disappointing. It's just Sean Spears.
It's just Sean Spears.
With the old man.
With the old fuck. The sneakiest old motherfucker of all time, Tully Blanchard.
What's your hatred towards Tully Blanchard?
It's just how sneaky that fucker is.
You just don't like the 4 Horsemen.
Woo! Anyways, so upcoming match, we had Sean Spears versus John Moxley.
Oh, that intro from Justin Roberts was amazing.
Oh, God. So fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
This match was so good. I love these two, honestly. Yeah, overall, I don't have much to say about this match, but
yeah, it's just your standard meats and potatoes back and forth.
But it was really good, and I think it's Sean Spears, formerly known as Ty Dillinger, has really good basics, and he has really good acrobatic skills.
Mm-hmm.
John Mox, our boy, our one and only true love, can carry anybody to a really good match.
You think he carried him?
No, I'm just saying in general, he can carry.
Let's talk about our boy Puck on commentary. I love this commentary. Just being a Geordie.
Just fucking sitting there, just looking like an asshole.
Just being a Geordie.
Anyways, some of the high spots in this match, we had Sean Spears turning Moxley inside out on the outside.
What about the old man shove?
The fucking Tully Blanchard shoves Moxley into the steps, but every time he ever did that, every time he fucking Tully interfered, he always was never caught by the ref, and that's why I call him the sneakiest old man of all time. Mm-hmm. Just the fucking Sam Fisher of wrestling. Anyways, a lot of the match just involved Tully Blanchard kind of interfering, stopping Moxley for just a second, just so Spears could get in a hit or two. A lot of back and forth between Spears and Moxley with a lot of like strikes and slaps, a lot of Irish whipping right into the corner. There was one fucking slap that Moxley did on Spears that just Spears looked so offended by it.
I like that he brought out his old finish in WWE, the tiebreaker, for a 2 count. I was just like, oh, okay, so we're just bearing finishes now. I don't know if that's his finish. Maybe his finish was just hitting someone with a chair.
He can't just always hit people with a chair.
He's a chairman.
Anyways, match overall didn't go for too long, surprisingly. I honestly thought it was going to be a bit longer, but it didn't.
It was a 2-seg match. It's not that bad.
Yeah, was this the other match that had moments that it cut out, or was that the next one?
Oh, yeah, this one had some moments that were cut out.
Yeah, so this had the same thing as Darby and Havoc. It cut out about halfway through it, and we missed some big moments. I don't know if you wrote them down.
Sean Spears hits the Death Valley drive into the corner. That wasn't cut out. Then it cuts out, and then we miss all of the big brawling they did on the outside and in the inside. And then we just come back, and then it's just like Ty Dillinger hits what JR calls a powerbomb, but it's actually a sit-out Spy Buster, so I know more than you, JR, but...
Wow, just shitting on JR.
He's
what did JR do to you?
He's the best commentator ever, I don't care.
Anyways, match ends up, Mox hits the, actually, I was going to call it...
The Death Rider! The Death Rider! What's it actually called in AEW now?
It's called the Paradigm Shift now, which is a cool fucking name. I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, whatever they call it, I appreciate the name, but that's not the only thing that we had. So we had Moxley winning the match, but
we should talk about the rating before we.
Before we get into the end. This was a 3.5 star match for me out of 5. Just solid overall. It got me like it just kind of ticked all the boxes for me, but didn't do too much more. I didn't expect this match to be like a 5-star match because there wasn't really much build up.
No, it was a good match to introduce the audience to Jon Moxley. Mm-hmm. Give him a big win over Shawn Spears. It's just I hope Shawn Spears gets a feud after this.
Yeah, it's technically Moxley's first match in WWE that isn't unsanctioned.
No, you mean AEW.
AEW, sorry.
You just said WWE.
Oh, fuck. I just performed the ultimate sin. Gotta kill me now. In AEW, so it's his first win. So right now he's 1-0. So
and poor Shawn Spears is 1-3.
He's just getting fucked.
Let's get into the post-match shenanigans.
Anyways, post-match shenanigans. We come out. We see Jon Moxley heading to the outside, but not quite to the ramp yet. And then it pans up. It's the Yeti again.
No, it's Hangman's favorite wrestler of all time, Kenny Omega.
Every time I think about like the way the announcer announces Kenny Omega, I'm like, just sounds off. I don't know why. Anyways, Kenny Omega comes on out with
a bat with barbed wire and
a broom.
Because he's
with barbed wire.
That
he's
popped
the
me.
Sweeper.
he's a sweeper. He's not the cleaner. He's the sweeper now.
Anyways,
you know what he can call his matches? A sweeper hit.
Oh, that hurt.
Good.
Anyways, we had Kenny coming out, and it looks like he's about to, beat the shit out of Moxley for this, but he tosses the bat with the barbed wire down to Moxley, which Moxley picks up, and we think that we're about to have a fucking just a brawl, like an all-out brawl behind the scene. And it was kind of nice because Kenny was showing like, hey, you know what, I don't like you, but I'm gonna fucking play fair with this.
Even though you just drove me through a table last week.
But Pac was just having none of that, so he just came out to fuck up Kenny's
He's just being a Geordie.
Just coming and being a fucking negative.
And then we saw an awesome stare down between Moxley and Pac, and I'm just like, I want to see Mox versus the Pac now.
That's exactly what I wanted to see after that. I think those two could fucking work a 5-star match. And I'm hoping that they do something with them after we get a Kenny and Mox.
After Moxley beats Kenny at
pretty much.
Full gear.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then after that, Pac just up and leaves, and we have Mox standing over top of Kenny, and who's just
bat in hand.
Just bat in hand, just kind of Kenny rolling around, being a little bitch as always, because he hasn't won a goddamn match. Little piece of
Except
shit.
he beat Cena.
Except nobody remembers that, because every time he's been fucking quoted, Kenny Omega has not won a single match in the entire fucking career here at AEW.
Even though he's won one.
Even though he's won the one. Anyways, fucking Moxley decides it's not worth it, and he just tosses it aside and leaves Kenny on the ground there, showing a little bit of honor and maybe a little bit of.
I thought you were about to say a little bit of the bubbly.
A little bit of bubbly.
Showing a little bit of the bubbly there.
Just showing a little bit of respect towards Kenny. The fact that Kenny didn't just come and blindside him right off the bat, so it's kind of a little bit of a deeper in look, but you know what? I appreciated it. Mm-hmm. Anyways, we're on to our main event, and we had Hangman Adam Page and Dustin Rhodes versus Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara.
Okay, before we get into the match, I have to mention this. I liked what Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross talked about here. So back in the day when Dustin Rhodes used to get the chick pops. He formed a tag team with Barry Windham, who looks honestly a lot like Hangman Page, and they were an amazing tag team back in NWA and WCW. So I really liked how Dustin and Hangman worked together in this match, and legitimately, I would love to see them as a tag team and have them feud with like the Young Bucks.
See, I don't really. I mean,
you never really saw Barry Windham work, so I understand.
I just don't see it happening personally.
Oh, I don't see it happening, but this is my fantasy world.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean,
Let a boy dream.
I'll let you dream. I'll let you have sweet dreams, no tears. Anyways, yeah, we had the two of them. We had basically the inner circle versus fucking lone wolves. Yeah.
The people that are part of the leap, but not really.
Yeah, more or less. More or less. I mean, Dustin's indirectly a part of it.
Same as Hangman.
Well, technically, Paige is a part of it, but yeah, only indirectly.
Yeah.
Anyways, right off the bat, it's supposed to be Dustin and Guevara, but then Guevara's just like, nah, man, I'm gonna fucking tag in Jericho.
Well, that's because Dustin wanted Jericho.
Yeah, and Jericho's just like, nah, I ain't having none of that. And Dustin gets tired of Chris's shit, so he just gives him a good old slap.
Okay, here's what I have to say about this part that I didn't like. Why didn't Sammy Guevara go and help his friend?
I don't know.
If you're getting beaten up by an old man, I would come into your aid.
You should tell me to fucking man up and beat that old man.
As you're just getting just stomped
just stomped to death on the outside.
Just pulling a Kenny Omega.
Yeah. So we had Dustin beating the shit out of Jericho on the outside for a bit there, and did Hangman come right in afterwards and fight Sammy, or was
yeah? They tagged in.
They tagged. Yeah, I guess Dustin would have tagged in Hangman at that point, and we had a little bit of a struggle between Hangman and Guevara in this place, and fucking just Hangman just killing Sammy with that goddamn chop.
Yeah,
like fucking. I thought Sammy just like his chest cavity imploded from that. Like shit. Anyways, we had a couple little back and forth with this, and eventually Hangman gets Sammy down on the ground, pinned, and Jericho just comes in and kicks fucking Hangman in the
right in the face.
Right in his fucking face. Like, at this point, I feel like Chris Jericho's in the part of the career where he stops giving a shit.
That's the best part of the career. Look at Orton.
Well, did Orton ever give a shit, really?
Oh, when he was younger.
I don't know. He kind of was still of an ass. Anyways, we had a good moment with fucking Dustin coming in, telling Jericho, get out of here again. Hangman and Sammy Hangman throwing around Sammy until Dustin comes back in to Irish whip Sammy right into Hangman's discus lariat and just turn him inside out.
See, this is why they'd make a great tag team.
Oh, they do have really good chemistry overall. At this point, Paige tags in Dustin, and we got Dustin kind of wrestling around with
Guevara?
Guevara. Didn't Jericho come in at one point?
Yeah, because he did the springboard crossbody onto both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then later a code red onto Jericho.
Yeah, exactly. And overall, it was.
Let's get into the finish a little bit. So Dustin dumps Guevara outside. Then Paige does a beautiful flip, and then
does the flip, and then we got Dustin turning around to finally go after Jericho. Oh, he sets up Jericho in the corner.
No. You forgot about one part. So Paige is out there. He does the flip.
This is after Paige does the flip on Guevara.
Yeah.
We have Jake Hagar, who we forgot to say was who was approaching the ring with Guevara and Jericho.
He's the heater.
He's the bruiser.
Mm-hmm.
Came up and just turned fucking Hangman upside down.
Exactly.
Just fucking annihilated him as he casually walked around as soon as the ref turned around.
And then Dustin.
And then we got Sammy, who was up by this point, coming in to interrupt Dustin, and we got the scoop slam.
I love that scoop slam.
And at that point, that puts Sammy kind of out of the match, and Jericho's been sitting in the corner for the last while after being set up for the Broken Dreams. But at this point, we got Dustin, who's winded, turns around to face Jericho, and then he gets hit with the fucking Judas effect.
Well, Jake Hager comes in, hits Dustin, and then...
Sorry, yeah. Hits Dustin, wins him, and then hits with the Judas effect. I'm missing a lot of things.
That's all good.
Yeah, hits him with the Judas effect for the 1, 2, 3. Honestly, I don't think that I think we both thought at this point Jericho and Guevara were going to win this one.
Yeah. I knew Dustin was going to eat the pin.
Yeah.
But before we get into the shenanigans, what do you think this match was?
This was overall a pretty solid match. I'd probably give it a 3.5 stars out of 5.
Yeah.
There was nothing too wrong with it. It just, honestly, it was just good, solid wrestling from everyone, especially including Sammy, who showed off a lot more. Like he could tassel with fucking Hangman, and it even showed off that Jericho's still fucking at the top of his game, and that Dustin's still got it after all these years.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I gave this match 3.5 stars out of 5. For pretty much the exact same reasons. I wish the match went on a little bit longer because I was really getting into it. But again, I get the shenanigans made up for it in the end.
I think the match was a 3.5 stars. We'll talk about the ending first, and I'll say something at the end there.
But yeah,
so
before you get into that, I just want to say I thought this actually progressed the story between the Elite and the Inner Circle throughout the match.
And this is what
it showed the number games.
And this is what we were talking about earlier that we think was missing from NXT's endings is that they don't really have moments like this, like really
exactly
big moments.
Well, like when you think about Raw back in the in 99 and 2000, it would always end with like a big shenanigan thing, which I think AEW is doing really well. But anyways, let's talk about the shenanigans.
So we had them all holding up their arms in victory, and of course we got Jake Hagar coming in, and instead of just leaving him alone, they decide to fuck up Dustin's day.
Yeah, those punches in the corner were great.
Like Jake Hagar just goes to town on Dustin. Like fuck me, that was just some fuck there.
Yeah.
Then we had Sammy and Jericho just laying into Dustin, and Hagar goes for the outside to, give Hangman the old 1-2. and then
the best part of this whole thing.
The best part about it, just fucking a chair comes flying out into their
Hagar's face. Just boo.
And then while they're beating the shit out of him, we had
because they started brawling to the back.
Yeah, they started brawling.
Lights go out, and Cody appears. Comes to fuck up Chris Jericho. Can I just say, that Crossroads and Sammy knows how to sell a Crossroads. That's Kota Ibushi levels of great.
That move, it doesn't look like it should be an effective move, like, at all.
Yeah.
But at the same time, every time somebody sells it, it always looks so
I think
good.
Cody does it the best. Too bad everybody else does that move now, too.
Yeah, but anyways, Cody hits the Crossroads on Guevara, beautifully sold, and then we got Jake Hagar, we had fucking Ortiz and Santana coming in, fuck up Cody's day,
and Dustin,
and they decide to just lay into him. Dustin and Cody are trying to fight to get them off of each other, and
this is why AEW is so good at storytelling, is because the next part that happens,
and then we got MJF coming in,
Cody's best friend.
Yep. And at this point, MJF has a chair in his hand, and he's doesn't go to fight him off right away.
Yeah, is this for? Okay, sorry to interrupt, but do you think this is foreshadowing? Because we should discuss this part. Do you think this is foreshadowing him turning on Cody, or are they going to make it like a long, story to let it be organic? Because I could see them at Full Gear having MJF join the Inner Circle and turn on Cody, costing him the match.
I could see it happening, but at this point, it's like...
Is it too soon?
No, here's my thing. It's like, I feel like they would need something to justify it with.
Yeah.
Because my question is, MJF fucking thinks everybody is below him, right?
Yeah.
Why would he suck up to Cody?
Because Cody's the boss.
I know, but he could suck up to literally anybody else.
Because nobody else would believe him. Because Cody's the one who got him signed.
I guess, but...
And Cody, he even tweeted, to MJF after saying, oh, thank you for being my best friend, and, they posted a picture. So it's I love the seeds they're planting for this, you know what I mean?
I mean, it could happen, and I think it might, but I don't know.
I honestly, I think this could be, the best feud for AEW if they do it right, which it seems like they're doing, which is a slow burn to Cody versus MJF.
Yeah.
And then MJF winning in the end, becoming a mega heel.
Yeah. Anyways, we had we had Jericho and Santana and Ortiz holding back Dustin, but holding up Cody, so MJF could attack Cody, and he hesitates for a good second, and we all think that he's gonna turn, but unfortunately, right here he does, or I guess unfortunately fortunately he doesn't, and he saves Cody from them. And
then he starts gloating.
And then, he starts fucking... See that scream of his?
Yeah, because he finally gets people to cheer for him.
And at this point, people are fucking cheering for MJF. And then did Jake Hager come in and throw him out?
No, Jericho hit him with the code breaker.
Oh, yeah. Hits him with the code breaker.
He just dies.
He fucking just explodes. Then we had the Bucks come in, and they take out Santana and Ortiz.
Which could be a good feud.
That could be really good. Yeah.
That's why I think they took the Bucks out of the tournament.
Yeah. So they have them. They go for their tope suicidas onto the outside and just
start choking them out.
Yeah. And at this point, Jericho knows he doesn't really have any more backup left.
Yeah.
Because everybody's kind of just dead. So he gets up, grabs his belt, and gets out of there. But he kind of hangs around for a bit.
Beats up the ref
For no fucking reason.
Guevara and Ortiz and Santana join him on the ramp.
Yeah, they're kind of all dying.
Well, the Elite is in the ring.
Mm-hmm. But then, at the last second, we see somebody kind of just approaching really, quicker than anybody really could run.
On a skateboard, no less.
And then fucking Darby Allin comes up to fuck up Chris Jericho.
That is a great gif. If you haven't seen that gif, that's a great gif.
Yeah, so, as we mentioned earlier... Darby Allin versus Jimmy Havoc was for the chance to challenge Chris Jericho for his championship this upcoming week. Yeah, and it just set up this... then
Jericho's promo at the end. Fuck you, Cody. See you next week, Darby.
You bitch.
AEW goes to black.
And that's it. That's it for the week.
Before we rate AEW, we should probably get into what show we thought did better this week.
And before this, take note, WWE, this is how you end a show.
Exactly.
This is how you end a show. Because the match, it was 3.5 out of 5 stars. Pretty good. But you know what? That ending made it a 5 out of 5. A perfect fucking ending because it got you so invested.
Yeah, I want to see what's happening next week.
Exactly.
I want to see what happens between Hangman and Hager. I want to see what happens between the Bucks and Santana and Ortiz. I want to see what happens between Jericho and Darby. I want to see what shenanigans Cody gets up to with Jericho.
I want to see what happens with Kenny and Moxley.
How is Pac entwined with that? How's the tag tournament going? Just a good show. But yeah, now we go to the segment of the show which we talk about who we think won this week.
Star rating for the shows?
Well, I thought we would talk about that because I think they kind of know where we're going with this week. But Cody, take it away. Who do you think won this week? And mention your star rating for AEW as you do it.
So my star rating for AEW, and this will come as no surprise, I think this is going to be a 4 out of 5 stars for me. Mm-hmm. And this week, I think it's going to go to AEW. Again, for the simplest reason, yes, NXT had some fucking great wrestling, but I feel like this week AEW really stepped up their game with a lot of their matches, and I felt like they had even more, they kept, because last week they started throwing little bits of story here and there, kind of had a bunch of a couple throwaway matches, mm-hmm. But this week they really are building it all up. They had a fucking match that's at the beginning, linking to the end, which was fucking great. They had something from several pay-per-views ago come in and fucking bring into now with Kenny and Mox, but then also Pac attacking Kenny. So just all of that, and then with the whole MJF thing, I like your theory of how you think he may turn.
Yeah, that's another wrinkle into the story,
and that's what I think is so great is that there's all these little things, and even though they're so tiny, it's got me interested.
Yeah, and
I think that's what's important. So overall, for this week's of the Wednesday Night Wars, it's gonna go to AEW again.
So yeah, for me, I thought NXT was a great show this week. I gave it 3.5. I thought the in-ring stuff was really great. I thought they do have some good storylines going right now, a lot through the promos, and they do have like the Undisputed Era taking on Finn, Ciampa, and Dream. There's some other things bubbling up, but AEW is kind of tying all their storylines together better. And I don't want to make it sound like we're just jumping on the AEW bandwagon. We're doing this as objectively as possible.
As possible for us.
Yeah, so my rating for the week for AEW is 3 3/4 stars. I think that averages out all the ratings I gave throughout. So just based off that, it's a 1/4 star better than NXT this week. I thought it was really close for me. So yeah, I'm going to have to give the point to AEW. I'm really liking the stories going out. I'm actually really excited to see Hagar versus Paige. I think it's going to be a great Haas fight, maybe at Full Gear. The only problem I have with that is that Paige might have to take another loss because it will be Hagar's first match.
Yeah,
because he hasn't had an official match yet.
I mean, to be fair, Kenny's just been taking loss after loss.
But it's adding to his character because the Young Bucks are like on Being the Elite. They're like, what happened to Omega? Well, who's Omega and all that?
Yeah, but I mean, like they could build it up so that
he can just go on a winning streak next year. Maybe 2020 is his year.
Maybe. Yeah, we never know because at least with this, it's keeping us guessing with everything. We don't because I think honestly, nobody assumed that Darby Allin was going to be the one to challenge Chris Jericho. Let's all.
No, I'm actually excited for that matchup because it's
no. But I mean, beforehand, I don't think anybody thought that was going to happen.
It's kind of interesting because if you heard during the promo, here's something I might predict: is Pac might cost Darby the match because Pac was talking during his interview. Why does Darby and Havoc have a shot at the title and he doesn't? So I wouldn't mind seeing that match at Full Gear, Pac versus Darby Allin, because they're two smaller guys and they can do a lot. But anyways, reviewing the week, that means so far in the war, AEW's up 4-0 against NXT. But before we go,
we got to do our MVPs of the week.
Did you want to go first?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, so this week was actually really hard for me. I had 5 people that were kind of in the running, which was Darby Allin, Swerve Scott, Walter, Kushida, and Private Party. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to have to give it to Private Party this week. I thought Private Party's match, they really showed that the star they are. They really showed that they are top-level guys. I gave the match 5 stars. I'm completely behind these guys. I really can't wait for them to lose in the finals to the Best Friends, because the Best Friends I want to win. So I wouldn't mind them making it. Maybe I'll let them beat Luchasaurus just once. But yeah, I'm going to have to give it to Private Party. I can't wait to see what these guys have going forward.
It's interesting that you say that for that, because here's my thing. So I had a couple of your same one, like Swerve, Darby Allin,
Walter,
Kushida. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, who really stood out to me this week as somebody who just stole the show?
Yeah.
And Chris Jericho. For me, and I'm like, it's no fucking brainer.
Yeah.
To me, Chris Jericho just fucking killed it. He absolutely fucking stole the show, and you know what? I think that works in perfectly with his character.
Exactly.
And I think that's, for me this week, Chris Jericho's gonna be the MVP. Thank you, Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I agree with that's a good pick. I was just thinking like Private Party just surprised the hell out of me this week.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, thanks as always for watching. We'll be watching NXT probably one day and AEW as the Wednesday Wars rage on. And just remember, everyone, Kenny Omega still won't win any matches.
Oh,
see you next time.
Unlikely. Bye.